Do you remember the joy of playing arcade games? Imagine the clatter of coins, the flicker of neon lights, and the electrifying thrum of excitement that filled the air. Ah, the good old days, where the only worry was running out of quarters. Arcade games, in their simplicity, held an allure that was hard to resist. They were more than games. They were a social event, a rite of passage, and a testament to the human spirit's competitive nature. They took us on a journey, a trip down memory lane, to a time when the thrill of the game was everything. From the simple Pong of the first ever arcade game to the complex narratives of the modern console, arcade games have been the stepping stones to the gaming industry we know today. They were the pioneers of the digital frontier, the trailblazers that set the stage for the gaming revolution. Each game was an adventure in itself, a world waiting to be explored. They were the realms where we were the heroes, the villains, the saviors, and sometimes the prey. These games shaped our childhoods, gave us memories that we cherish, and stories that we still recount with a smile. They were the catalysts that sparked the gaming industry's evolution, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. They transformed a generation, inspiring us to dream, to dare, and to defy the odds. They were the building blocks that laid the foundation for the gaming industry as we know it today. But beyond their impact on the gaming industry, these games were a symbol of our times, a reflection of our culture, and a snapshot of our collective consciousness. They were the mirrors through which we saw ourselves, our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. And so, as we turn back the clock and revisit these iconic games, we are not just celebrating the games themselves, but also the spirit of an era, the joy of discovery, and the thrill of competition. So brace yourselves as we count down the top 10 loved arcade games. Let's embark on this nostalgic journey together, as we relive the magic, the excitement, and the sheer joy of arcade gaming. Kicking off our list at number 10, we have the iconic Space Invaders. This game took the world by storm when it was released, making waves in the arcade gaming scene. With its simple yet addictive gameplay, it's no surprise that it quickly became a fan favorite. The player controls a laser cannon that moves horizontally across the bottom of the screen, firing at descending aliens. With each alien you hit, you gain points, and the aim is to rack up as many points as possible before they reach the ground. But Space Invaders wasn't just about shooting down aliens. It also introduced a new and exciting concept. The more aliens you hit, the faster the remaining ones descend. This feature added a thrilling layer of intensity to the game, keeping players on their toes. Space Invaders' innovation and influence extend beyond the game itself. It's often credited as the catalyst for the golden age of arcade games. Space Invaders truly set the bar high for future arcade games. Swinging in at number 9 is the classic Donkey Kong. This game needs no introduction, but for those who might be unfamiliar, here's a quick rundown. Donkey Kong is a game of exciting gameplay, filled with barrels to dodge, ladders to climb, and a primate antagonist to outwit. It's a thrilling adventure, all set on a construction site. But let's not forget about the characters that made this game iconic. There's Jumpman, who would later become the world-renowned plumber, Mario. Then there's the titular character, Donkey Kong, a gorilla with a knack for throwing barrels and causing mayhem. The game's unique mechanics and engaging gameplay were a breath of fresh air in the arcade scene, and it played a monumental role in popularizing platform games. Its influence has trickled down to countless games that followed, shaping the landscape of gaming as we know it. Donkey Kong's influence remains undeniable in the gaming world. Chomping its way to number 8, we have the unforgettable Pac-Man. This circular yellow hero with an insatiable appetite for dots and fruit graced arcades in the early 80s, offering a simple yet addictive gameplay that swept the world off its feet. The genius of Pac-Man lies in its simplicity. You're in a maze, chased by colorful ghosts, and your only mission is to eat everything in sight while avoiding your spectral pursuers. It's a game of chase, a game of strategy, a game of quick decisions. No two rounds are ever the same. But Pac-Man is more than just a game. It's a cultural phenomenon that transcended the confines of the arcade, making its way into merchandise, television shows, and even popular music. Its enduring popularity is a testament to its timeless design and universal appeal. Pac-Man, a game that will forever be etched in our hearts. Blasting its way to number 7 is the thrilling Galaga. This gem from the golden age of arcade games, first released in the early 80s, is a shoot-'em-up that truly raised the bar. It's a simple concept. You're a lone spaceship facing an onslaught of alien formations. Yet, it's the unique mechanics that set Galaga apart. Not just a game of dodging and shooting, Galaga introduced the concept of tractor beams, where enemies could capture your ship, and you could dramatically rescue it to double your firepower. It's a risk-reward system that added a whole new layer of strategy to the genre. Galaga's influence is undeniable. It set a standard for the shoot-'em-up genre, inspiring countless games that followed. Its legacy persists, with its gameplay mechanics seen in many modern games. It's a testament to its enduring appeal and the timeless fun of its challenging strategic gameplay. Galaga, a game that took arcade gaming to the next level. Hopping in at number 6 is the ever-popular Frogger, a game that took the simple concept of crossing the road and turned it into an addictive challenge. With its roots in the golden age of arcade games, Frogger charmed players with its unique gameplay. You were not just moving upwards, but also sideways, all while keeping an eye out for fast cars, treacherous rivers, and hungry crocodiles. It was all about timing, precision, and a little bit of luck. This game stood out amongst its peers, not just for its unique gameplay, but also for its vibrant graphics and catchy tunes. It was a game that demanded your full attention and refused to be ignored. Frogger proved that arcade games could be more than just mindless entertainment. They could also be strategic, challenging, and above all, fun. And it's this blend of fun and challenge that keeps Frogger a fan favorite to this day. Frogger, a game that proved arcade games can be both fun and challenging. Hold tight as we continue our exciting journey down memory lane. Now we're down to the top 5. At number 5, we have Centipede. A classic from the early 80s, this game had us battling not just centipedes, but spiders, scorpions, and fleas too. It was one of the first arcade games to attract a significant number of female players, and its success led to several sequels and adaptations. Fun fact: did you know that Centipede was co-designed by Donna Bailey, one of the few female game designers of her time? Moving on to number 4, we've got Defender. With its horizontal scrolling action, this game was a trailblazer in the early 80s. The game's complexity and challenge level were well ahead of its time, requiring players to keep track of numerous elements at once. A tidbit worth mentioning: Defender was one of the first games to keep track of the player's score, even after their game was over. At number 3, we find Asteroids. This space-themed game was a hit in the late 70s and early 80s, with its vector graphics and wraparound screenplay. The goal was simple: destroy asteroids and flying saucers without getting hit. But with each asteroid you hit, the smaller and faster they became. A little trivia: did you know that Asteroids was so popular that some arcade operators had to install larger coin boxes to accommodate the influx of quarters? Our runner-up at number 2 is Street Fighter II. This game single-handedly revolutionized the fighting game genre. With its choice of different characters, each having their unique moves, it offered an unmatched level of depth and replayability. Here's an interesting fact: Street Fighter II was one of the first arcade games to feature playable female characters. And finally, at number 1, we have the one and only Tetris. This tile-matching puzzle game needs no introduction. It's a timeless classic that has been captivating players since the mid-80s. The game's simplicity, yet challenging nature, has made it a favorite amongst gamers of all ages. And here's a quirky fact: did you know that the name Tetris comes from the Greek numerical prefix tetra, since all of the game's pieces contain 4 segments? And there you have it, the top 10 loved arcade games that have left a lasting impact on gamers worldwide. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey.